Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Film Box Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Souza, and I am joined today in a duo cast episode by our good friend Sam. How are you doing?
Hello. Just me.
Yeah, this is unprecedented for the pod. We haven't done it. We've done one pod, you and me together. But that was we did a tier list of Star Wars movies, which was great. But then this is the first review that we've done, just the two of us. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be great. So today we are going to be revisiting. We're starting our November theme, which is Murder Mystery Month. Thank you, Sam, for suggesting this topic this month. In celebration of Wake Up Dead Man, which is the third movie in Rian Johnson's Knives Out saga, releasing later this month, we are revisiting a whole bunch of classic murder mystery movies. Some good, maybe some not so good. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens. But today, this episode is Gone Girl, which is an excellent murder mystery. We will talk about that today. But first, we got to talk about what we've been watching. And spoiler alert, we are recording this less than 24 hours from our last recording. So I don't know about you, but the only movie I've seen is Gone Girl since then.
Well, I've watched 3 movies in.
Oh, Jesus!
It was pretty boring at work today, so I just popped on Max. And to continuing my 31 horror movies, I watched Final Destination 3 and Final Destination 4.
Nice,
because they were both like an hour and 30 minutes. So
yeah, they're nice and short.
Yeah. So just not wanting to knock those. I kind of want to finish off the franchise too.
Yeah.
And then obviously Gone Girl. So,
well, yeah, short and sweet Letterboxd recap this week. We barely watched anything, but that means next episode is going to be quite full. But what are you drinking today? You teased out something, and I have no idea what it is.
I picked these up. I've had them before. They're pretty good. I have a Jack Daniel's hard lemonade.
Interesting.
So yeah,
that's cool.
They're pretty good.
I didn't even know that Jack Daniel's made hard lemonades, so that's quite cool.
Because they're not as they're sweet, but not as sweet as your Twisted Teas or your
right, the Mike's Hards.
Your Mike's Hards. They're a little bit more subtle.
Mike's Hard gives me literally diabetes just looking at it.
Yeah.
Well, I also have a drink here. I've got a Surfside strawberry lemonade and vodka. So I'm going to crack that open. Oh my God. Every time I crack something open on this pod, it just explodes everywhere. It just gets all over me. I don't know what's going on.
That's a clip.
It just explodes all over. No. All right, so it's time. It's time to talk about Gone Girl. We're wasting no time this episode. We are diving right in. But before we go over kind of the overview of this movie, I gotta ask you, have you seen Gone Girl before?
I have not, and that's why I picked this movie for us to review. So, always been a huge, Rosamund Pike fan, Ben Affleck fan. So I've heard of this movie before, but I didn't really know what it was about, really. So,
yeah.
Yeah, and it was one of the top ones when I searched murder mystery films.
Well, there you go. Well, I am in the same boat. I had not seen it before, even though I quite enjoy David Fincher and some of his work. This was one that I just kind of missed over for one reason or another. So I'm glad to have finally been able to watch it. Do you? And that leads us to the next section here. Do you own this movie?
I do not own this movie.
Well, I do. And so let me pop open the film box, because I have an actual box now that
nice.
I have. Oh, there it is. Look, Gone Girl.
Oh, wow.
Woo. So this is Gone Girl on Blu-ray. This is the special edition. This has the Blu-ray in it on a little slim case, and then really cool, comes with an Amazing Amy short story.
Oh, nice.
Which is quite cool. So yeah, so it's a very cool little addition here. So yeah, that is very cool. It's a neat little thing. You can find these. They're not super rare, this edition, but it's you can find them all kind of all over the place. But it's a nice little thing to have.
Nice.
But if you're like Sam and you don't own this movie, you can watch this movie on streaming. It is available to watch currently. You can watch it if you have a YouTube TV subscription, or if you have an HBO Max subscription, which I'm assuming is how you watched it.
That's how I watched it.
Yes. So, or you can pay $3.99 or whatever to see it on any of those others. But why would you do that? Just watch it on Max or own it. It's even better. Okay. Well, let's dive into the basic overview of Gone Girl. So this movie is a 2014 American psychological thriller film directed by David Fincher and written by Gillian Flynn based on her 2012 novel of the same name. Starring Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, Neil Patrick Harris, Tyler Perry, and Carrie Coon, and shot by Jeff Cronenworth, with music by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, which is a great pairing to do this movie. Produced by 20th Century Fox and released October 3rd, 2014, with a runtime of 149 minutes and a budget of $61 million. Sam, how much money did this movie make at the box office?
Let's go 100 mil.
100 mil. You have shortchanged it, my friend. This movie made $370.9 million. This was a pretty big hit.
Oh, this was right after Argo, right? When Ben Affleck was huge.
When he was huge.
Well, as we see throughout the movie, he is kind of packing.
He's big. Oh, God. In one scene in particular, especially
for like half a second.
Yeah, for like blink and you miss it moment. Let's see. Argo was 2012, so yeah, this was like right after Argo. So he was kind of up on top at this point, and he had just done The Town in 2010 as well. So,
and it looked like let's see, Social Network just came out in 2010. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in 2011. So
yeah, Fincher was kind of on top of his game too at this point. So that is so interesting too. I'm looking at Ben Affleck's filmography. He did Argo, he did Gone Girl, and then immediately the next film after Gone Girl is Batman v Superman.
And The Accountant, both in the same year.
Yeah, and The Accountant. I mean, that's weird.
That's like 3 completely different movies.
Yeah, 100%.
Which, I mean, kind of looks. It sounds like. It feels like it proves how good of an actor he is.
Yeah, he's great. All right. Let's see. So, I've got a couple notes here too about this movie that before we kind of dive into to the review side of things, I just want to mention a couple things here. First off, Gillian Flynn, the screenwriter for this movie and the author of the original book, was chosen specifically by Fincher to write the screenplay, which is interesting because typically with these adapted stories, at least from what I was researching, the author will do like a first draft, and then they'll pass it off to like a professional screenwriter versus an author to write the polish it up. But Fincher wanted Flynn to actually write it, which is really interesting. And I think she did a pretty good job. We'll kind of dive into that as well. And then also, according to producer Seon Shaffin, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Fincher took, on average, how many takes per scene? Guess.
Fincher? On this movie?
Yes, on this movie.
Oh, gosh. On average, probably like, let's just say 5.
Add a 0 to the end of that. 50 shot takes per scene. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Fincher's kind of crazy when it comes to this stuff. He's very exacting. So he goes for a lot of takes to try to get scenes right. But yeah, he's according to this producer, he took on average as many as 50 takes for each scene, which is kind of nuts.
It's crazy to do that with like that's crazy to do with like these big time actors too. Ben Affleck was huge, Rosamund Pike was huge, even Neil Patrick Harris was doing what's the show called?
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother at this time too. So
it is kind of crazy to think that like he's asking these guys to do 50 takes. I couldn't even imagine as an actor trying to get into character and do the same thing 50 times in a row and be successful at it past like attempt 15.
Yeah, I could see if it's like a frustrating, like you're trying to get the frustration out, but like some of these intimate scenes, like
kind of wild.
Like I wonder how many takes it took to do the shower scene.
Oh man, it's like, Ben, I know you've done this 45 times, but I need you to show your penis one more time, please.
Oh, too much penis, too much penis.
Oh, no, too much. Go back. Okay, so we know kind of the background on this, but we need to know what the critics and the people thought of this movie, Sam. So why don't you take it away?
Yeah. All right. So, our good friends on Rotten Tomatoes, tomato meter with the critics sitting at 88%.
Nice.
With a popcorn meter of only 87%. So very even with that. So, it seems like the audience and the critics agree, which is very seldom.
Yeah.
And it has an 8.4 on IMDb, so pretty, or 8.1, 8 point something like that, but it's in the 8s, so it's pretty high on IMDb. So that means we always have to do the
opposite review.
Perfect. All right, so this 1 out of 10 stars says really, really bad. Some of the worst dialogue I've ever seen in a movie. Bad story, flat acting. The critics who gave this good reviews should find other work. I read the book, so I know what the story was supposed to be. This disjointed telling does no credit to the book. I can't imagine how the director managed to get such terrible performances out of experienced actors. Okay. Sure. It's a real credit to bad directing. The only character who really clicks is the sister. Affleck looks like they already paid him and he's ready to go home. This movie has absolute no emotional impact. The characters were too flat and the dialogue too unrealistic to have any effect. The storyline was poorly conceived. The most positive reviews for this movie demonstrate once again how most people are not very observant or discerning about what they watch.
False.
This guy
doesn't know what he's talking about. Come on.
Yeah.
You watch this movie and say Rosamund Pike is flat. I am appalled. Appalled.
I know. This other one I got is another 1 out of 10. Great movie ruined by a terrible ending. It doesn't say anything about the ending, so it's not a spoiler or anything.
That's all right. We're gonna spoil it anyway, so don't worry.
At the time of watching this movie, it had a rating of 8.4 on IMDb. I normally trust whatever movie has an 8.0 rate or higher should definitely be a great film. Well, I hope this is the exception that confirms the rule, because this movie might be one of the worst I have ever seen. Why? You must be wondering. Because of the last 30 minutes. Up until that point, I was really enjoying it, generally speaking, but man, that ending is appalling, utterly atrocious, and plainly nonsensical. A great thriller turned into a love story of pathetic proportions in a matter of minutes. The only positive I found at the end was with the way they portrayed the power of media and the public opinion in society. The rest should go down the garbage chute. In these types of movies, there's only one premise. Keep it real. If you do, you'll have a great film, which will improve with every twist and turn you add. But if you don't keep it real and your thriller becomes too surrealistic, You'll find yourself going from cleverness and brilliance to false cleverness and stupidity. And that's exactly what happened in this film in the last half hour. Seriously, who in their right mind can believe that sequence of events at the end? It had great potential, but is surely one that I will remember for the wrong reasons.
I don't know
if you saw the watched the right movie, or the same movie that we watched.
The last half hour, they said something in that review. They said like they turned it from a thriller to a romance or a romantic movie,
a love story.
Yeah, a love story. That's not what the last half hour is about, my friend. That is
no.
It's really the antithesis of what the last half hour is, and yikes! That is not it. That is a face value impression of this movie. Is like, oh, they got back together. They must be in love. It's fine.
Yep.
All right. Let's recap this movie before we dive into what we enjoyed about it. So, on the morning of their 5th wedding anniversary, Nick Dunn discovers that his wife, Amy, is missing. The house shows signs of a struggle, and Nick immediately contacts the police. As the investigation begins, Detective Rhonda Boney and Officer Jim Gilpin find evidence suggesting foul play. The media quickly sensationalizes the case, turning it into a national spectacle. As the investigation progresses, public opinion turns against Nick, who is portrayed as the prime suspect. Evidence mounts against him, including financial troubles, a potential motive for murder, and his affair with a younger woman named Andy. Nick hires attorney Tanner Bolt to manage his defense and navigate the media circus. In a shocking twist, it is revealed that Amy is alive and has meticulously orchestrated her disappearance to frame Nick for her murder. Feeling betrayed by Nick's infidelity and their failing marriage, Amy concocts an elaborate scheme, including falsifying her diary entries and injuring herself to fake her death. Amy's plan involves committing suicide to complete the frame, but she abandons this plan after seeing how Nick pleads for her return on national television. Amy eventually kills her former boyfriend Desi Collins and stages it as a self-defense scenario, returning home to a shocked Nick. She manipulates the media and public opinion, regaining her status as the victim and heroine. Nick, aware of her true nature but trapped by her control over the public image, reluctantly reconciles with her, and the film ends with Amy revealing her pregnancy, having artificially inseminated herself with Nick's sperm. Despite his horror and realization of her manipulative nature, Nick decides to stay with Amy for the sake of their unborn child, leading to a tense and unsettling resolution. The end.
And that's Gone Girl in a nutshell.
That is Gone Girl in a nutshell.
Yeah, you gotta add Connor's line at the end.
I have to add Connor's little flair to it. So let's talk about what worked, because this is our first major category of each episode, each review that we do. These are talking about things that we really enjoyed about this movie. I'll give you one right off the bat. Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike have insane chemistry. They are phenomenal in this movie.
I had that as my number one too. I said Affleck has chemistry with like everybody. So I had Rosamund Pike and Carrie Coon like with his sister. Like he can have chemistry with like everybody in this movie, to be honest.
And like I love how he plays his character as like everyone else around him is sensationalized. You know, Carrie Coon especially plays very large. She's emotions are very high, but Ben Affleck's character, he plays it very subtle. He plays it very almost non-emotional, to the point of like you think, okay, maybe did he actually have something to do with this thing?
Right.
Which I think is really smart. He's, you know, obviously someone that's doesn't process his emotions very well.
Yeah. Which happens in real life too.
Absolutely. Know? And so he plays, instead of being this like sensationalized, like highly emotional, I'm going to be yelling and screaming and I need to find my wife and, you know, crying and doing all this stuff. Instead, it's very like, I have internalized every emotion that I have.
Yeah. Going off is like, he does do that, but like there's a couple instances where he does like lash out and like he's just, it boils up until it's too much, and then he does show that emotion eventually, you know.
And I think it plays well into the movie in the first half, being like, okay, well maybe he actually did murder his wife,
right?
Because it's like you see all of a sudden, holy shit, this guy just smashed a glass on the ground. Like, I didn't even know he had that in him, you know. So it's like, oh well, maybe he is capable of violence in that way, or something like that. It's quite interesting. I liked how they introduced the backstory through the flashbacks and the journal entries in that first half.
I had that too.
I thought that was really kind of a neat plot device. And it breaks up the movie in a good way, because we get to know the characters as it stands, like in the present first, and then it's how do we get to see them come to this point. And I like that it's almost like a merging narrative. It's you know, these two things kind of come together at a point, at an intersect point.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about non-linear stories. They just need to do it right. Like in this movie, they did it perfectly well, because you don't really see Rosamund Pike modern day, like I guess present time, until we see her, until it's revealed,
until the twist, right?
Right. So we only see her in the flashbacks. So we kind of need that like little background of like, oh, did she really like? Is she the victim here, or is she is she the actual victim here? Well, like non-linear stories, like I really didn't like it in Challengers. I know it's a hot take, but
well, because it's like this is non-linear, but heading in the same direction, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
The present day story is linear, and the flashback story is also linear, but the way that it's intercut with each other makes it work,
right?
You know, what I mean? It's not like they're going and they're starting at the very end and then they're bouncing back to the beginning and then they're going flashback and then they're going into the middle, and you know, it's not really bouncing around in that way. So I think to your point, it works quite well in that.
And I
sense.
like how they did that with the journal too, and they just didn't narrate it.
Right.
Like I was kind of with the journal. And I think the dialogue is great, but like also some of the sentences she wrote too, you could tell like she was very articulate with her language.
It felt very intentional,
right?
Which obviously reveals to be the point of it. It is very intentional.
Yeah.
What else did you like about this movie?
I very much enjoyed a lot of the family themes. So the movie centers around Ben Affleck's, what the fuck is his name? I forgot.
Nick.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Nick. Okay, I'm like,
there you go.
So I know Nick, Margot, and Amy.
It's Ben Affleck.
Yes. But you know, it shows like his struggles with, you know, his sister. You know, they open the bar together. You know, they talk at the bar about that stuff. And then it has that one scene with his father, like escaping the elderly home, and he has to take care of that. And then also throughout the movie, it shows all like his marriage struggles and his relationship struggles. So I think that kind of played a part when was very relatable to a lot of people too. You know, sometimes a lot of these movies are just like they focus on one problem. Like if it's like a problem with their, you know, with their parents, or one problem with, you know, their marriage. This movie kind of did all of that, which I enjoyed because everybody is going through multiple things in their life, you know?
Yeah. And I like to, in that vein, how it shows not only these are all the struggles that he has to deal with, but this is how he deals with it too. Like Nick internalizes everything. He doesn't talk. He doesn't share his feelings. He basically just, when something happens, he shuts down. And that ends up being a real detriment to his relationship with Amy. His relationship with his sister is quite strained because he doesn't tell her anything. Obviously, he doesn't have a relationship with his father because of disease. But like that internalization has ruined relationships with his all of the people around him as well, which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah.
And on that, in that same sort of vein too, of speaking about the perspective being from Ben Affleck's character for most of the beginning, I like how they even though we're kind of getting flashbacks and then present day stuff, and the story is unfolding, this movie does a really great job of not holding your hand with what's happening and what it means.
Mm-hmm.
So like they drop little clues about things, but then they don't explain it. You know, they have at the very beginning of the movie, there's the phone, his like little cell phone. He's trying to call someone, and they don't ever have a shot of like call, and then it's a name on the screen, and then it's like, you know, whatever, and it's like kind of hand holding. It's what's that about? And they don't really bring much attention to it, or like how he hid the clue from the cops, and didn't show them clue number 3 during the investigation. Is what's that about? You know, or some of his little mannerisms. Oh, he's feeling too coy in this situation. What's that about? But they don't bring attention to it.
Yeah,
which I think is really interesting,
and it keeps the viewer guessing too, because I want
exactly
with that clue 3 thing he found in his dad's house. You know, he found it, but he didn't tell anybody about it. So that makes the viewer be like, is he in on it too? Or
exactly that's my
thought. Then you think it's like he wasn't expecting this either. So like,
right,
I don't know. It was very engaging with the audience, keeping the audience guessing.
Yeah, it's asking the audience to play along with the mystery, which I think is, you know, an important part of a mystery movie. You know, there's basically 2 ways to do a mystery movie. There is way number 1, which is keep the audience guessing and trying to figure out what's going on as it unfolds, or it's option 2 of show exactly what happened right at the beginning and let the audience enjoy how the detective comes to the conclusion of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I tend to prefer the former versus the latter, and keeping me guessing as to what's actually happening.
Right.
And then of course the twist. How did you feel about the twist?
I wasn't expecting it, to be honest.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. I think that's one of my mixed feelings I have about this movie is I wish they kind of did something. I'm glad they didn't do the you know, the typical the ex-boyfriend or this random like mob boss, whatever. But,
yeah, right.
I kind of like that, but then when it was revealed, I'm like, that's it. I'm like it's clever, but like I'm like that's kind of it. And I don't want to bring this up now because it falls into my what didn't work, because I still have more what worked. But I didn't really like how it was the reveal, and then it was a 1 hour and 20 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah, it's quite a drastic turn, and it's quite early into it's like halfway.
Yeah, and I'm like,
it's kind of wild.
There's like there's almost an hour and a half left to move in this movie. Like, what else can go on? But again, I think I have mixed feelings about it. I liked it, but I didn't hate it. So,
I thought it was quite clever, in that it's a bit of a subversion of what you typically think of the thing would be. It's, you know, it's kind of building it up like, oh, is she actually still alive? Is she actually dead? Was he actually in on it? Whatever. And then it's like, oh, she's alive. And not only is she alive, she's a fucking whack job too. She's a crazy ass bitch. And you get a quite an extended sequence of her explaining and showing every little thing that she did to set this guy up. And it's like, holy shit, she's nuts. She's crazy. I thought that was quite cool. But then we'll get into it in a little bit. Things kind of slow down after that a little bit. But the actual act of the twist, I thought is quite cool. It's definitely a subversion.
Yeah, it was definitely not traditional with these kind of mysteries, you know?
Yes. What else did you like?
Okay, so I really liked the comedy in this movie. And you might be thinking like, oh, it's not a funny movie, but it's realistic comedy, right?
Yeah.
So it's comedy that it's not too much, and it's nothing forced, right? So there's I wish I wrote it down, but there was a scene when I think he was in the police station, and Boney was like, "Oh, how's your mom?" And he's like, "She's dead."
Yeah,
And she's like, "I'm so sorry." Like that's like
the
it's
way
not
that it's delivered.
right. It's like it's not supposed to be funny, but like I kind of chuckled at it. I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
There are some funny moments to this movie
yeah.
for sure.
And it kind of it made, I think, Nick feel more of like a normal guy. You know, like he wasn't like I feel like in a lot of these movies, like the main character is just like in one direction. He's either like he's like, "Oh, I'm not the killer," like whatever.
Is special in some way.
Yeah, and like it
in
gives him
movies,
some.
but
It gives
in
some.
this movie, he's normal, like you said.
It gives him some humanity, I guess, or
Right.
like I don't know. I don't want to say humanity, but it gives him
No,
some character.
humanity is
you
the
know?
right word, I think.
You know, because some
Because
people
he is, yeah.
some people cope with like loss and trauma with like comedy, like being like optimistic, and like with comedy, and like so. I mean,
And they're not overly emotional, or they're
right.
You know, one of the things that I appreciated the most about the characterization of Nick is that, like, yeah, okay, it's come to find out he really didn't murder his wife, and he's really just completely innocent. But also, he's kind of just a doofus. Like he doesn't know it's clear that he doesn't really cope well with, you know, things that go wrong. He was playing video games instead of having responsibilities.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything about his wife, doesn't know her friends, doesn't know, well, the blood type thing was kind of funny as well, but like barely knows anything about his wife. You know, he's kind of just a bumbling doofus in this movie, which feels very human. He's not special in any way. Which I like movies that are about that. You know, one of the things that I'm reminded of is not this year, but last year when we were on vacation in Rhode Island. Em and I sat down and watched a movie. It's Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron and Joey King. What's the movie that they just had? Man. Where Nicole Kidman, Joey King movie. It was a family affair.
Yeah.
Yes, a family affair. And this is a movie. It's a romance. It's a rom-com about a personal assistant to a very popular actor, and who gets into a relationship. The actor gets into a relationship with her mom, who is a best-selling author. These are high-powered, very special people that are extremely wealthy, and there's a disconnect in the movie because I'm watching these extremely wealthy people do extremely wealthy things and try to have drama in their life, and it's like I don't connect to this at all. But Nick in this movie completely connect to. I like this guy. I would see at a bar, drinking a whiskey, having the time of his life, and he'd be totally normal. And I appreciate that. One of the other things that I like about this movie is later in the film when we kind of get reintroduced to Neil Patrick Harris's character, that dude creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
He is like so unsettlingly like weird.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I thought it was going to end up playing more into the movie. Like she ends up having to actually escape him. But the fact that she just straight up murders him is wild.
That I was not expecting that either.
I was not expecting that at all. But it plays into like she kind of goes after these weird dudes, or these, you know, she knew she could manipulate this guy into doing what she wanted, so she went after him. It's weird, but he is quite creepy. Do you have anything else that didn't work, or that did work for you?
I mean, that's pretty much the main things.
Okay.
Again, all the acting I think was great. Yeah.
Well, then let's talk about what doesn't work. And I want to start you off with a little fun one here.
Okay.
So Ben Affleck's character, Nick Dunn, he's from Missouri in this movie. It's made quite clear that this is a character from Missouri. Yes. It takes place in Missouri. He has lived in Missouri all his life. Not an iota of a Southern accent in that man. He sounds like he came straight out of like California. There, he has zero accent.
Oh, I thought they
lived wild to me.
I love that. I thought they lived in the city for a while.
Yeah, for a while, but like if you grew up in Missouri, you got some sort of an accent.
Yeah.
Another just fun one that I had was that I didn't like, speaking of Ben Affleck, I didn't like seeing him in a Mets hat.
Oh,
that was a little weird. But I will say there's a funny behind the scenes note of this movie that I'm pretty sure he refused. The initial script was that he would wear a Yankees hat. He would put on a Yankees hat in the airport, and he refused to do it. He said, "I will not wear a Yankees hat." So they had to go out and get him a Mets hat. He's like, "I'll wear a Mets hat. I am not wearing a Yankees hat." It's like, true.
I mean, good thing there's 2 baseball teams in New York, right?
Mm-hmm. What didn't work for you?
Yeah, so like I already said, like the reveal happening like halfway through the movie. I think the last half of the movie was good. I just wish that the reveal came a little bit later. Because if it wasn't revealed and we still saw all of maybe like her like running away kind of thing, we could have still had that mystery of like, did he actually kill her or did he actually try to do anything to her kind of thing. Instead of just right off the get-go kind of like revealing, oh yeah, she set this all up. But I mean, I think it worked though. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. It's just one of those things.
Maybe if it was like 2/3 of the way through where there was like a good 35 minutes left in the film, it could have been a little bit different. I will say on that front, one of the things that didn't quite work for me is like for 15-ish minutes while she's in the Ozarks at that campground, the movie does really kind of slow down for a little bit.
Yeah. And
it's like I'm feeling pumped and I'm energetic and it's like I've just come off this big twist and I just want it to keep going because like my stress level is already kind of rising. I personally want it to keep going, but then it's like it brings you back down for a little bit. I could go without that.
Yeah. And like how did she like was in public the entire time? How did like 0 people notice her?
I mean, she definitely changed up her look a little bit, but she still looked still like Rosamund Pike. You'd think being a national news story and being all over every TV, like especially she's sitting on the couch with that girl and they're watching the thing on the news story.
Yeah.
And the girl's like, not a clue. No resemblance at all. It's the same person.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit weird. One of the questions I had is that it didn't really make sense to me is why when they found out that she hid a bunch of stuff in the shed and then the lawyer was like, we got to go tell the police about the stuff in the shed. And then they didn't do anything with the stuff in the shed. I was like, you need to tell them now. Like that would be like priority numero uno is like, I found this stuff in my shed.
Yeah.
This is whacked. We need to talk.
Because it looks less guilty if you bring it to them than trying to hide it, you know?
And then it comes back to bite him because they find the stuff in the shed.
Exactly. And then he gets arrested, you know?
Yeah. That would have been number 1 priority with me. And then on the same vein too, one of the other things about the actual investigation part of it, the whole thing they confirmed, quote unquote, confirmed during the investigation, and I believe it was on the news that she was, quote unquote, pregnant. Like Amy faked her pregnancy, but then she comes back and is not pregnant, and even though it's been 7 weeks, so I don't know at that point you'd really be showing.
Right.
But you would think, unless it was assumed that she lost the baby while being kidnapped. But like you would think in the time preceding that or after she comes back, she would begin to show if she actually was pregnant, and then some cracks would start to develop and be like,
Right.
Because then they announce a pregnancy on the show at the end of the movie, but it was already assumed that she was pregnant.
When was
It's like, wait a minute here.
Because that happened all in July. And then September is when was kind of when the movie ended.
Yeah, so it's most of it does happen within the span of a few days, and it's like, oh, she's pregnant.
Right.
But by the time you test positive for a pregnancy, it's usually a few. Here's two white guys talking about pregnancies and how it work on a podcast. I believe
about movies.
I believe the pregnancy test, you don't test positive for a few weeks in. So let's just assume that it's been 3 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah. And
then she's gone. She disappears. And then when she decides to leave Neil Patrick Harris's house, it has been 7 weeks post that time. It says on the little thing that it's 7 weeks later. So by that point, let's assume she's 10 weeks pregnant. She's definitely showing a little bit. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, she could have always... I mean, we could go on theories about this, but she could have just said that. And, well... Yeah, she could have just said that and, like, did the artificial, like, whenever, you know? She could have, like, lied. I mean, just a bunch of theories. I guess that wasn't really clear. Because she was talking to that, what's her name? The pregnant lady, the neighbor.
Yep.
Before she left.
Yes, and the neighbor was the one that was like, oh, she was pregnant. And then it became the news story.
So technically, she was pregnant before... she left.
Right. And then it was announced, the end of the movie is like they announce it on TV that they're expecting a child.
Which is like September, which is like
they should have always already
later.
Right. They should have already been expecting a child.
Yeah.
So then in my mind, I'm like, that doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Something's weird about this. If I'm the FBI, I'm looking into that a little bit more. We'll talk about that, I think, a little bit later.
Again, maybe she lied. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It does kind of leave things up for interpretation as to what happens after the movie ends.
Yeah. It might have been just one of those things that, you know, they just threw in the movie just to make it a little bit more emotional kind of thing. So
right. So what else didn't work for you?
Honestly, not much else. There's some nitpicky things. I had when he was throwing the what's his name? Tanner was throwing the gummy bears at him.
Yeah.
And his sister threw it and he caught it in his mouth. You could easily tell there was no gummy bear going into his mouth. He just like
awesome.
He just opened up his mouth and he probably already had it in his mouth. I'm like, I just noticed that. I'm like, it's whatever. I mean, it's just a nitpicky thing. It's just a fun little one. So
that's pretty good. Anything else?
Not really, honestly.
Okay.
Nothing I can think of.
So let's move on to our best moment. This is where we highlight individual moments of the film, much unlike the gummy bear thing. These are the things that we think are really good. I like the first thing, I guess I'll just get off the bat, is the reveal, the twist reveal, and then immediately showing all of the stuff that she does, that Amy does to prep it all and how it actually was executed and all that stuff. I thought that was quite cool. Yeah. Just a cool sequence to kind of get that background behind all of the stuff that we've been thinking about for an hour.
Yep.
And then the argument immediately after Nick gets caught with Andy by his sister.
Yeah. I had that too.
And she's like freaking out at him. It's just excellently done. What did you have? What did you have for best moment?
I had two. I had first one I had was They were it was one of the flashbacks. They were talking at night during like when the recession was going on, and he like he was like losing his job. It was just like at night, and it was really dark, and it felt really realistic. Had the city skyline in the background.
Yeah.
It was probably CG'd, but whatever. It looked good. With this quiet song playing in the background. I had that one, and then I had when the cops went to the dad's house when they went down to the basement.
That's a very cool scene.
Literally seemed like a horror movie with like the lights going on and off. I'm like, oh, this is actually a really good scene.
Yeah, that was a good moment too. That's a good call. My favorite moment in this movie I haven't talked about yet, the press conference. Where they do like Nick goes on TV with Amy's parents at the beginning of the movie. And it's for something specific about this, is that Fincher uses color extremely specifically throughout this movie, but especially in this scene, where if you go back and watch it, everything in the movie or in this scene is some sort of shade of yellow or brown. The backdrop is brown. The reporters are brown. The lighting is kind of yellow tinted. Everyone's wearing these brown clothing. Even the parents are both in like a brown suit and like a yellowish dress. But Nick is in this baby blue, light blue button-down t-shirt or button-down shirt. And it's done very specifically because it stands out. And you watch this scene again and you are paying attention to every little thing that Ben Affleck's character is doing. And so you're paying attention to the way he's moving and the way that he's emoting and the way that he's speaking. And then the picture at the end of the scene that comes back later in the movie of him smiling next to the thing, it makes you pay attention to all those little things, because at this point in the movie, it's still painting him as potentially a suspect. They haven't named it. They haven't really even given away anything that's going on, but you're thinking, oh, something's off about this. Something's a bit weird about what's going on here. And it gets you thinking. And it's really, really cool, subtle use of color in a scene that you wouldn't really expect it to be done in. There's analyses that go over this scene that I think are excellent, but I really love that scene in particular because of how it uses color. But I will say too, the basement scene that you talked about, quite good too. That is a really cool moment. So let's I don't know. I mean, what do you think for best moment? What is your vote here?
I mean,
to me, the whole movie is kind of a best moment, to be honest.
Right. I'm good with either that press conference, or I really like the scene where they were talking. The two of them were talking in the dark and stuff. So
yeah, I think we can split the winner there. Best performance. I don't think there's much of a debate here. I have Rosamund Pike as best performance.
Ew. I had two others.
What you got?
I had Ben Affleck,
of course,
and I had Kim Dickens as the detective.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
And honestly, I think Carrie Coon could also be in the conversation.
Yeah, no, I mean that's true. I felt
Rosamund
like Rosamund Pike was just yeah, she was just so far. Everyone else was very good, but she was so far above what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, I've got some what ifs for you, because there are some what ifs here with this movie.
Oh.
Initially, Amy, played by Rosamund Pike, was supposed to be played by none other than Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think it would have been very good.
I don't think it would have been better, no.
No. And conversely, instead of Ben Affleck as Nick, we almost got John Hamm.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that one's tough too. That he was filming Mad Men, and so he couldn't get out of filming that too. to play Nick, so it ended up going to Ben Affleck, which I think was a much better decision. So those are the 2 what ifs I got. So let's move to the fun award here. Richard Kind, this is the category for who would make this movie better. So I've got one option for you, because honestly, a lot of the cast really good. Like, I wouldn't really change Amy. I wouldn't change Nick. I wouldn't change Margot.
Yeah.
But to give us a little bit more oomph, to give us some more juice in the police world of things, replace Detective Boney with Rebecca Ferguson.
So I had that on my list.
Really?
But I figured you were gonna pick that, so I picked somebody else.
That's actually quite impressive. You know me too well.
Yeah.
I love Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh yeah,
I think she's great.
Usually it's Connor. It's Connor being the one to stand on the table for her.
Yeah.
But I agree. That's a great pick.
Did you have anyone else for the casting?
I did. I think Jeffrey Wright as Tanner would be.
Ooh, that's
good.
Interesting too.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's really interesting. I could see it too.
Like, I mean, he already played he's not really, he's more of a lawyer in this movie, obviously, but he played, I think he was great as Commissioner Gordon in the Batman. So I think he could play that lawyer really well. So
for sure. It's interesting. Neither of us wanted to recast Andy. I figured she would be kind of Emily Ratajkowski would be kind of a prime candidate to recast, but I tried to think of it. I actually thought she was pretty good.
Yeah, I think she was pretty good.
Okay, hot takes. This is a fun one. Do you have a hot take?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
Gone Girl is one of Ben Affleck's top 3, if not his best performance.
Wow, that is actually kind of big. I mean, yeah, we're talking.
I think
Good Will Hunting.
I think Good Will Hunting and Argo is his other 2.
Yeah, Argo,
and maybe
and
then maybe Armageddon is top 5.
Gone Girl number 1. That's a pretty bold take. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I can see it. I haven't seen all of his films, but I could definitely see it. So I've got 2 for you. First off, I am picking up on Amy's batshit behavior right away. There is no chance that I am not clocking that from a million miles away, and also not touching her with a 10-foot pole. Like, I am staying far away from that.
Yeah.
And then on the different side of things, if I'm the investigator on this case, so if they call me in to investigate, I am 100% believing that Nick is correct right off the bat, because this frame job is so perfectly well done that I can't believe it. Like, to the point where it's like, of course this would be wrong with the thing, and of course this is how it would be cleaned up, and of course this is where I would find the thing. And like, it's almost too perfect with how the things to frame Nick with were placed, that I would be like, there's no way that he did this. There's no way that he hit every cliche in the book. So I'm investigating other things. Okay. What happens the next day? We are coming towards the end of our review, but we obviously have to talk about what's going on after this movie, after the credits roll, Sam. What happens the next day?
All right. So the movie ends on a very ambiguous ending. So I think Boney kind of goes behind the scenes, goes incognito, and she ends up finding these tapes that were taken at Desi's house. And if you notice, she kind of she acts like she was raped, and like crawls in front of the camera.
Yeah.
After he leaves.
Ah, yeah.
So maybe they could prove that like he actually wasn't home when that happened due to timestamps. And she gets arrested.
Yeah, I had one in the similar vein of like the FBI kind of starts to take a deeper look and finds some discrepancies in what's happening.
Yeah.
And by the extension of that, I think Nick and Andy end up together and they end up happy.
Oh, okay.
Conversely, I had another thing happens the next day, which is this quote-unquote happy marriage lasts 6 months, and then Amy murders the shit out of Nick.
I mean, I also had
months.
that too. I'm like, oh, yep, Nick's dead.
Yeah, Nick's gone. He's getting his throat slit in his sleep. She's got the taste of murder, so she's fucking killing his ass.
Yeah.
Okay, is this better with the Challengers cast?
I think it could work. I don't think it's better. I don't think it's better though.
Yeah, the casting's really, really good, but I do think, maybe if you made Gone Guy, and it was gender flipped, that you had they was centered around Zendaya, and then Josh O'Connor was the husband.
Yeah,
and Mike Face was the brother. Could be fun.
Do that. Could
be fun. Gender swap it. That should be a category. Is this gender swappable?
Is this shit just... I do have I don't know if we're doing heat checks.
Yeah, we can do a heat check. I don't have it in here, but we can absolutely do one.
I just thought of this one, but I think his dad, his one scene with his dad.
Holy shit.
When he was walking him back to the clinic, he's like, "Get your
fuck yourself."
He's like, "Get your fucking hands off me." I'm like,
that was
that's
really
great. Good. Yeah.
Who was that played him? It was, I don't even know.
I couldn't find it honestly on the casting.
Let's see, Gone Girl IMDb. I'll find it. It is. Dunn. I'm looking for Bill Dunn, Leonard Kelly Young.
Oh,
great performance. Got like 2 scenes, basically one scene. It just crushes.
Yeah.
I love to in the police station in that same vein. When he's like, we've been trying to call you, whatever, and he's like, I've been right here, and then it's like, I'm looking for my missing wife, and the dad's just like, you fucking bitch. He's just under his breath. He's just insulting her. It's like, that's so funny. And he's just like, Dad, stop. So good. Okay. The last category of our review, before we get to our final scores, what prop are you taking home, Sam?
Ooh, you shouldn't have asked me first. I'm taking the golf clubs.
Oh, you're taking the golf clubs. You know what? That's a good pick. I am taking home a thing that I already own. It's one of the Amazing Amy books.
Okay.
So technically, I own a prop from the movie. So there we go. This is an Amazing Amy Tattletale.
Yeah, honestly, I'll take everything that was in the shed.
Yeah, all of the entire contents of the shed would be pretty good. You could really suit out a sick bachelor pad with that.
Yeah, right?
Oh, man. All right, well, we've come to the end of our review, which means we got to give our final scores for this movie. Sam, what are you rating Gone Girl?
All right, so this was my pick for this month. Again, like I said, I had no idea anything about this movie. All I knew that was Ben Affleck was in it.
Yep.
I've heard of it. I've seen it on HBO Max when I've been scrolling through. And I'm always mystery is a very weird category for me because like there's a lot of great ones, but there's a lot of also bad ones, you know. And I've always loved it, like because I don't like to know. I always like to keep guessing, right? So I don't like to know things before the audience does.
Right.
I was very surprised how good this movie was, and I wasn't expecting the performances to be as good as they were. I think that elevates it even further. Are the performances. And I would easily watch this movie again. I would recommend this one as one of the top mystery films that I've ever seen. I'm just gonna give this a 4.5.
Yeah, I'm quite similar to you in your thoughts here. I really, really like this movie. More so than I thought. I kind of had like, as the first half of the movie was starting to unfold, I had that moment of like, that meme of like someone's gaming and they gotta lock in, so they lean forward in the chair.
Yeah.
Like that was me watching the movie. I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then things started to unravel and I was like, oh, I gotta lock in.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was really good. I like the twist. It's basically two different movies combined into one that I thought was quite successful.
Yeah.
Great performances, great chemistry, great use of color and music, and really just impressive all around. I think this is probably top 3 Fincher. I don't really see any other movies topping it. It's just really interesting, and it's one that I definitely will be thinking about and be wanting to go see again. So for that reason, I am also going to give it a 4.5. So that brings us to an average score of 4.5.
So
which
far.
when you shocking. Which when you put it all together with all of the scores that we have done, this movie ranks number 7. We have a new entry in the top 10 at a flat 4.5, even with weapons, which actually was just updated last episode. So this is even with weapons and just above Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl, and it has knocked Call Me by Your Name off of our top 10. So that is where we rate Gone Girl. That is the end of this episode, and if you like what you listen to, leave a rating, please subscribe, follow us on your favorite podcast platform, do all of that fun stuff. It helps let us know we're doing a good job. We don't do any paid promotion for this show, so sharing it and liking it and commenting and interacting with us is the best way to let us know that you're enjoying the content that we're doing and that we're doing a good job. You can follow us on socials. Those will be linked in the show notes, especially on TikTok, where you can catch little clips of these episodes and some of our past episodes as well. So make sure to check it out there. And you can go to our website, firstpicturehouse.com, for a lot of great content that we and some of our friends have written. And you can go to our Letterboxd, which is linked in the show notes below. So check us out there so you can stay up to date on what we're watching, when we're watching. You don't have to wait for each episode to find out, because it's going to be a while till the next one. So you want to stay up to date. So with that said, this has been the Filmbox Podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.